Hello BookTube, hello book friends, welcome back to my channel and another tag video. And this one is a little bit different in that it only has one prompt. Well, in fact, I suppose it's got two because I'm supposed to tag other people, but it's only got one prompt. And it is an original tag by Rainer Books. And I was tagged by Mark at Book Time with Elvis. And the purpose of the tag is to look at some of the books we have on our shelves that we've never read. And it's the Untouched Books Tag. The purpose of the tag is for me to show you 10 books from my shelves that I have had for more than a year, but have never read, and talk about them. So this is just a tag that is about creating awareness to read from our shelves, enhance sustainability, and maybe even save some money. So I've actually got 11 books, but one of them is volume 1 and volume 2, so I'm counting that as one. So let's get into it. I have to say this was difficult to pick 10, but or whittle it down to 10 anyway. So let's start with this one, which is Stone Desert by Craig Charles. And it's two books in one, because it is the book that was originally republished with in the back the author's journal that he based the book on. So it's quite an interesting book. Quite why I've never managed to get around to reading it, I don't know. But yeah, so maybe I should read that one. What do you think? And then second up is a book that actually was in Mark's video, and I thought, oh, I've got a copy of that. I've also had that for more than a year and I haven't read it. And this is The Book at War by Andrew Pettegree. And this is all about books during conflicts and the role that they played. And yeah, things like pamphlets and things about, what to do in the event of an air raid kind of thing. So yeah, another one, perfect condition, obviously, because it's never been touched. Then this is the 2 volumes that I think I've had this for over 20 years. And it's a classic, Penguin Classics, when they were doing and they had the black and kind of cream, although one of mine has obviously been in the sun for a bit because it's not quite cream anymore. And this is Sir Thomas Mallory's Lamort DAR, volume 1 and volume 2, and this is basically the tales of King Arthur and his knights, and I've never read either of them either. So there you go. One that I've not had for quite so long, but I've certainly had for over a year, is The Essential Kafka by Franz Kafka. So this has, what does this have in it? It's got Metamorphosis in. So it's got The Trial, The Castle, and then Metamorphosis and Other Stories. Again, I bought because I wanted to read some Kafka. And then by the time the book arrived, I obviously didn't. So yeah, there you go. A book that I bought directly from the author to support its publication that I've never read. And this is basically it's The Land Beyond, 1,000 Miles on Foot Through the Heart of the Middle East. Probably something you couldn't do right now, by Leon McCarron. It's even got a slip of paper in it from the author, which says, "Hi there, if you enjoyed this book, could I ask you that you please leave an Amazon review? It makes a huge difference and should only take 60 seconds. Thanks so much." Leon, when I've read it, maybe I will. I have read some of Leon's other books, and I have to say, some of the things that he's done and the places he's gone are just amazing. So, he's hiking through Jordan, Iraq, basically, as I say, places you probably couldn't or wouldn't want to go right about now. So next up, a biography of somebody I'm very interested in, and have not read yet. And I've had this maybe certainly more than a year, maybe 5 or 6, I would guess. And that's a biography of Siegfried Sassoon by Max Egremont. So again, war poetry, something that if you've been around this channel for a while, you know I'm very interested in. And another book I haven't read. If you've been around the channel for a while, you also know I'm very interested in natural history. So the next two, this was a book that was originally published in 1956 and went out of print and then was reprinted. When was it reprinted? Reprinted. So this was published in 2018, and I bought it when it was released in 2018 because I really wanted to. I really wanted to read it, and haven't done so. And this is all about the bird, the swift. And I'm not sure whether this is Oxford or Cambridge. Does it say? But it's all about the swifts that inhabit. So this is Oxford, I think. Anyway, perhaps I should read it and find out. But it is Swifts in a Tower by David Lack. And as I say, it's all about the swifts that basically breed in a tower. I can't remember which one. I need to read it. I really need to read it. So I think this is showing that I buy these books for very good reason. I have every intention of reading them, and then get distracted and don't. And then this is another biography. I don't think I've shown this on the channel before, but I have certainly what's the word? I've certainly shown a book by the subject of who is the subject of this book. So this is a book that I supported through a Kickstarter campaign or similar, and it is about J.A. Baker, who wrote a very famous book called The Peregrine, and it is a biography of him written by a lady called Hetty Saunders. and it is The House of Sky. And as I say, I supported this as a Kickstarter, so I got my copy through that. It has wonderful end papers, which are basically the maps that Baker used for plotting his observations of peregrine falcons when he was out in the field. It has wonderful drawings and pictures in. It has copies of his journals, all sorts of stuff. And again, I've never read it. So there you go. This is making me feel quite depressed, actually, that I've got all these wonderful books that I've not read. Another book that is based on letters written during the Second World War between a lady called Eileen Alexander and a I can't remember his name now. Basically her boyfriend, and written during the Second World War, and kind of presented as a chronological, almost as a diary, and it's Love in the Blitz. So it is obviously pretty much what it says on the cover, but told through her love letters, basically. So yeah, another book that I bought when it first came out because I really wanted to read it. When did it first come out? 2020. So it's not that old, not as bad as Lamort DAR. And finally, book number 10, a book that also came out in 2020. Mine is a signed edition. And it's James Holland's Sicily 43. So this is all about the Allied landings on Sicily in 1943 and the capture of the island ahead of the main landings of the mainland of Italy in 44 and of Normandy and Operation Overlord also in 44. So yeah, haven't read that either. It makes me feel quite sad that I know I've got more than 10. But yeah, so I'm going to get to some of these. I already did a video, which I'll link to in the description or at the end, of 10 books I want to read between now and Christmas. So I'm going to try and add at least some of these to that list as well. So thanks to Rainier Books for creating the tag. Thanks to Mark for tagging me. Thank you to you guys, as always, for watching. And I will speak to you again next time. Take care now. Bye-bye.